Is Coeur d'Alene a good place to live? You should watch this video because Coeur d'Alene, Idaho could be exactly what you're looking for. And in this video, I'm going to map it out for you guys. Hey, I'm Craig Flood, and I am your guide to relocating to Idaho. And in today's video, we're going to be covering Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and if it's a good place to live. We're going to be talking about access, specifically the access that it has to water. There's a lot of great things about Coeur d'Alene, but one of them specifically is the access to water. We'll touch on the political beliefs, because I know that really matters to a lot of you, where you guys end up landing. You really want to know, what do they believe and what is the culture like? And I'll also touch on winters, because that's a really big deal. And my plan is that by the end of this video, you guys are going to have a really good understanding if Coeur d'Alene, Idaho could be a place that you could see yourself living. And be sure to stick around till the end because things are really changing here in the West, specifically in Idaho, because we're dealing with a lot more smoke, and I'll touch on that as well. So let's talk about access to water. Coeur d'Alene is right on Coeur d'Alene Lake, and it is fed by the Spokane River. If you are into water sports and just want to be around water, Coeur d'Alene could be an amazing option for you. I was just talking to a friend recently who lives up there, and he lives in Post Falls, so it's essentially right here on the Spokane River, and they have waterfront property, and so they're able to boat out into Lake Coeur d'Alene, and they love surfing. They're a bit older, and if anybody's gone surfing behind a boat before, they know it's a really easy thing to do, especially when you get older. But in addition to that too, over a decade ago, they bought a cabin down south, further down Lake Coeur d'Alene, and they're able to access that property from their boat. So he's essentially able to commute from one house on the river all the way through Lake Coeur d'Alene and then down to his cabin. And for him, this is kind of his retire location. He lived in another place in Idaho, in Moscow, Idaho, actually. And for him, Moscow, Idaho was a little bit too liberal for him. And then in retirement, they decided to move up to Coeur d'Alene, where he was originally from. And so if you're somebody looking for access to water and the outdoors and wildlife and all that, Coeur d'Alene could be just that for you. The second thing to think about when thinking about Coeur d'Alene is that, or at least just to be aware about if you're thinking about if it's a place that you want to live, is that there's a lot of growth happening in Coeur d'Alene. Some locals would tell you it's good growth, like they're liking the change that they're seeing, meaning in their eyes, like-minded people are coming in and they're an asset to the community. They're not taking it down, they're not dividing it, they're not creating division, they're mixing in well. But there's a lot of growth happening there. So that is affecting construction, that's changing what downtown's like, that's changing what the traffic is like. And with Coeur d'Alene, like a lot of other cities in Idaho, they're going to look drastically different in 10 years. Whereas some small towns in Idaho, they'll probably look identical, but there are certain hot spots within Idaho that people are moving to that it's changing them. Number 3, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is conservative. There are spots in Idaho that are not as conservative, but Coeur d'Alene is definitely on that far conservative side. So if that's something that you are not interested in or you don't fall that way, you might find that you don't necessarily fit in the way that you'd want to fit in there. For a lot of you, I know that's a pro. I hop on phone calls and emails and Zoom calls all the time, every day with people just like you who call me. And I love asking, like, what has you considering a move to Idaho? And I can almost bet out of 3 things, that's one of them, conservative. They want to move somewhere that's conservative. So if that's something you're looking for, just know that Coeur d'Alene falls on that side and is very conservative. Before we jump on to the next 3 things, if Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is a place that you think you could live and you want to learn more about it, then feel free to call, text, or email me. I talk with people just like you every day who are making that move to Idaho, and I'd love to help you in that process. And also, I see some of you out there, you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. And if you're interested in all things Idaho, what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play here, and what real estate is like, then be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified every week I post new content. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is a small town. That's definitely a benefit of living there. So if you're somebody who kind of likes a pretty small, kind of nice, walkable downtown, Coeur d'Alene has that. So when you head downtown, right there next to the water, the Coeur d'Alene Resort, it's a great place to go. You also have access to the water's edge there, so you can walk the city. You can go straight down to the water. Some towns don't have that, and it can make them kind of feel really lacking. But if you're looking for that, Coeur d'Alene definitely has that. Now we have to talk about the winters. The winters in northern Idaho and Coeur d'Alene are long. They're not like horrible, but they're just long. And so you just have to be ready for the snow, and you have to want that to be a part of your life every year. There's no getting away from it. So if you are going to move to Coeur d'Alene, just know that you are going to get all 4 seasons. You're going to get winter, and you're going to be shoveling snow, or you're going to be going to Home Depot and investing in a snowblower, but that's definitely going to be a part of your life. So just know, again, winter is there and it's long, And yes, there are great summers, but you definitely pay your dues through the winters. Smoke. Let's talk about smoke. I grew up in this area, and growing up as a kid, I just don't remember smoke being much of a thing, but now it's just definitely a thing. So right now, as I'm making this video, there are fires up kind of on the Washington side, but it is casting smoke over Coeur d'Alene. And so in the summertime, just know that when you're enjoying your outdoor activities and all those things, there might just be a kind of orange glowing haze of smoke. And if this is something that you just don't want to deal with and you want to move somewhere where maybe there aren't as many fires in the summer and smoke that you don't have to deal with, then you'd probably want to take this off your list. But just know that if you move there, this is an aspect of the summer that you will have to deal with. If you're looking for a guide to help you relocate to Idaho, Coeur d'Alene specifically, then reach out to me. I have partnered with agents all across Idaho, and we help people just like you make that smooth transition. So you can call, text, or email days, nights, or weekends. My contact information is below, and I would love to chat with you. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.